Today's show is made possible by our friends Panda Sups. Focus, energy, pump. You're going to be able to get all that at pandasups.com. Use code CHAT at checkout. Be able to save 30%. What you see on screen right now is their pre-workout. It's why I'm so focused to do this Q&A right now. First question, what do we got, man? Mike Munoz, who is left in the race for Clowney?
Titans, great question, right?
Titans, Raiders, Seahawks. Those are my top three.
Changes every day. Titans, Raiders, Seahawks? Yeah. It might just be Titans, Seahawks. The market for Clowney is not very good for Clowney's perspective. The longer this goes on, the more I think that there's a very good chance he just ends up back in Seattle. So it's a weird market for him, man. It has not gone the way he thought it was going to at all.
All right, Mir, you're next up here on NFL Daily. Seahawks fans, should Seahawks trade Jacob Hollister?
I mean, I think they should try to do it. I don't know if there's going to be a ton of interest in it.
They should have just never even gone out and signed Greg Olsen. I mean, I love Greg Olsen, but 1 year, $7 million.
Hollister's contract isn't a great trade asset, so I think you might see the Seahawks either cut him or just keep him on the roster.
I do love me some Will Dissly, though. Will Dissly could be another option if you're trying to trade just because he's battled some injuries.
And he's cheaper, too.
Cheaper? Deron Everest. I was going to make a mountain joke, but it's just...
Thanks for not.
It's not going to happen. Clowney or Griffin for the Hawks? Gordon or Warford?
Look, you're dealing with a limited preseason camp. It's not going to be normal, so I'd prefer players with familiarity already.
I'll go Clowney.
Clowney knows the scheme. There's not going to be any real adjustment period. Same is true of Josh Gordon.
All right, Mir, what's up, my man? Who wins the NFC West? I'm guessing you're a Seahawks fan. I might actually switch my answer.
Yeah.
If you would ask me this over the weekend before the Jamal Adams trade, I probably would have went with 49ers.
I mean, look, they were like literally 3 inches away from winning it last year. Like that was the difference between the Niners and Seahawks. So if you want to flip and go Seattle, I get it. I still think I might lean San Francisco.
I think I'm going to go Seattle.
But it is a legitimate toss-up. I think both are top 5 teams in the NFL.
Type 4 for 49ers or type S for the Seattle Seahawks. And if you're a Seahawks fan, subscribe to our Seahawks-only channel, youtube.com/SeahawksTV. Kyron, slightly tilted smiley face.
Yeah.
Will the Seahawks get Antonio Brown? Kyron,
well,
interesting question.
Has he retired again yet?
I think he unretired.
Okay, so he's back to being unretired. Got it. I think Josh Gordon makes more sense for Seattle. I know that there's some interest in Antonio Brown and with Seattle. I know Russ Wilson would like to add him. I think that Antonio Brown still potentially suspended by the NFL. That has not been finalized yet.
Yep.
Antonio Brown was upset about it, but I mean, it takes time.
FAB.
Yeah, FAB in the comments.
FAB.
I think Josh Gordon in the end is a safer, a more familiar, maybe not the same high ceiling, but just a more conservative addition for the Seahawks offense.
What up, Tom? With less preseason, no preseason, will we see less trades at the deadline, less time to get new players into your team?
I actually don't think that it's less time to get new players on your team. I assume you mean deadline, you're referring to the roster cut deadline.
Yeah.
I think the issue is
August 16th.
You're not going to see these players.
Correct.
Like the only guys, like you're not going to see trades of like former undrafted free agents or rookies who are second-year players. Like it's only going to be guys who have actual game film on them. That eliminates a lot of the possible trades. So I think, yes, you will see fewer trades at that roster cut deadline this season.
I would say Troy Daniels, what's up, my man? Does the NFL have a plan in place for the teams that may have issues like the Florida Marlins did?
Clearly, the Marlins plan wasn't very good. The NFL has plans. They've left it up to each of the individual teams. They had to fill out more or less their emergency response plan. You'll see different setups for individual teams.
Yep.
It's going to be tricky. This is a contact sport.
Yeah.
If it spreads, it spreads. You'll be able to maybe mitigate it, and hopefully you don't have a situation like for the Marlins where a quarter of the team or maybe a half the team ended up getting it.
Yeah.
There's a plan, but they don't want to have the nightmare scenario.
Yeah, not good.
It's not good.
Nathaniel Ruiz. Get a picture. Do you believe that if any starting quarterback opts out, the team season is basically done for?
I mean, pretty much, yeah.
I don't know about that. I could make the argument that it might be better for the Jags.
There might be a couple of teams where the starting quarterback isn't great. For example, if Mitchell Trubisky opted out and they just had Nick Foles, well, they're in the same spot that they were.
True.
You know, if Tyrod Taylor opts out, they have Justin Herbert. At that point, the season wouldn't be over. But any of like the teams competing for a Super Bowl, you know, if Russell Wilson opts out, or if any of those top 10, top 15 starting quarterbacks opt out, yeah, the season's pretty much over.
Oh boy, Jinteek, did I get that right? Logan Ryan to Seattle after Dunbar incident. So they're different corners.
But Logan Ryan has mostly been a nickel. So it makes you feel better, though, about the cornerback spot, because right now you're going to go throw Ugo Amadi in that nickel role unless you move a Diggs or
like a Drake or Patrick.
I think a Kirkpatrick could make sense. It depends on if they want a nickel option or if you want an outside guy. If you want an outside option, I don't think Ryan's the best fit. If you're down to go with a nickel, I think Ryan would be a good addition for the Seattle Seahawks.
Miri, what's up? Better receiver, DK Metcalf or Deebo Samuel?
Ooh, it's a good one.
Can't type DK, though.
Yeah, type DK, or how about DB for Deebo? Oh, that's a good one.
I'm going to go DK. I'm going to go DK.
I think I'll go DK, but I love them both, man.
If you could
They're
tell me.
They're very different receivers, and I think both organizations use them very, very well. But I'm going to go DK.
I'm going to go DK in the sense that I think he can be the number one. But if you're telling me, hey, I need a solid, you think Deebo can be a true number one receiver?
Yeah. I think he can be.
All right. DK.
I almost went Deebo, man.
Or Deebo. All right, next question is from Dr. Alleycat. DK, the next Megatron.
Yeah, Megatron. Okay, interesting, Mitch. Probably not.
No,
I'm sorry.
I don't think there's ever going to be another Calvin Johnson.
Shout out you guys who are just using hashtag AMA to ask NFL questions. I don't think he's gonna be the next Megatron because there's not gonna be a next Calvin Johnson. Sorry. What?
Jeff Rogers, other than Mahomes, what quarterback would you start your franchise with?
I think I'd take Wilson. He's on the wrong side of 30. That gives me some pause, but I think I'd still take Wilson.
I'm going to go with Deshaun Watson. And because I think Deshaun Watson could be in maybe like 2-3 years from now, and if you put a halfway decent offensive line around him,
Watson also creates a lot of his own sacks.
Sure.
Which is the nature of his play. It's fine, but he does create some of his own sacks. I would actually take Lamar over Deshaun.
Okay.
Because Deshaun's had more injury problems than Lamar has in his career.
You're not wrong.
I'm right. You can just say that, too. You can just say, I'm right.
I might not always be right, but I'm never wrong. Remember that.
Okay.
Can you cheer for more than one NFL team? Y for yes or N for no?
Yes,
the answer to this is 100%.
Yes, you can.
You absolutely
can. Now, it almost has to be AFC and NFC. No. Because those teams don't play each other they play each other once every 4 years.
So here's my argument, right? Because you're a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
If you needed the Eagles to beat X team so the Cowboys got in the playoffs, would you root for the Eagles then?
Yes,
you
but
would.
I wouldn't. Yes, that's a good loophole. I'm defining cheer as for the rest of the regular season, you're cheering for those.
Well, that's not in the fine print. The fine print is up on screen.
There is no fine print. That's the point of the show.
I mean, the fine print is subscribe youtube.com/chatsportstv, which you all should, by the way. So, yes, you can cheer. You can 100% or share the video on social media, Twitter, Facebook, all of them. It's all good. All right, next question here on NFL Daily. Make sure that you're using hashtag NFL. What NFC West team made the biggest jump this year?
I think it's Arizona. Now I'm pausing here because of the Jamal Adams trade, but I don't want to overlook how impactful that DeAndre Hopkins trade was. I'm still going to go Arizona, then Seattle, much closer than what they were, a year ago.
I'm going to say that maybe the Cardinals made a bigger jump, but when I see the word, I'm thinking like impact, okay? The biggest impact to me is the Seattle Seahawks because for me, they go from the second best team in the West to now the best team in the West, and I actually think maybe the best team in the NFC. I really do. I think the Jamal Adams trade is going to help that defense that much.